Hello everybody, Jet here, continuing my Malagor campaign as the Beastmen. I have just had to restart this because I realised I'd recorded 10 minutes and I was muted the entire way through, so it wouldn't have been the most interesting listening to me. Now, we've just got a little bit of a replenishment to do here, so I'm popping these guys into encampment stance, and we're going to just do a little bit of recruiting in this army while we wait. In fact, no, I'm just going to move this army over closer to start with, just so I've got them both together for when we want to start moving and end turn. So right now, my main focus is going to be on getting that second army built up, so it's in a good position. So I've basically got there. So I have two strongholds. Sorry, I lost the ability to speak there for a minute, and then I'll be able to pop them in, I'll try and keep them close, but then I can have them straddling multiple territories, which means I can be raiding multiple places at once, really bringing in that income. Now, we'll probably hang around here raiding while I build it up, and once we've got them both built up a little bit, we'll start hitting places with it being my lead army. Now, the Border Princes have brought some armies here, though they are probably, as I said, I imagine they've got a few armies around here because they are at war with the Greenskins. Obviously they've got the Dwarfs as allies, but there's a whole lot of conflict going on around here. So I can even potentially jump over the sea to the other side, where I imagine they've got quite a lot more, well, I imagine they're in a much better position. I'm just going to do a little bit of recruitment here. I don't really feel I want the pikemen as much here. We're going to keep off raiding this turn. Next turn, however, we'll pop back to raiding. So I just want to get these guys up, leveled up a bit more full health. I know a lot of them are, but getting the other guys up will also be good. Okay, so that's an end turn there. Now, obviously, while we're here, we are also spreading chaos corruption through this area as well, which means that they will potentially start racking up some public order bonuses. Sorry, public order negatives, which will also be another reason why they're pulling their armies here. Now, potentially they might also come out and attack me, but I am quite powerful here, and actually with my Bray Herd I can potentially just smash them even with that big army there, but I don't really want to be doing that at the moment. I want to just farm off them for a little bit. And actually, they're moving on now, so... But they can't see me here. I just want to farm income off these guys for a little bit. And it's always a play off that with that. Do you want to sit in the area for a few turns, or do you want to smash the settlement? Sometimes smashing the settlement is good because you can get a lot of income out of it, though I don't know how long they've held this, so I don't know how much income will be here. What I do want to do is I want to... Ooh. Well, I've taken that one, guys. I've taken the negative range. So, yeah. That's definitely what I wanted to do. Honest. I'm going to raid towards here. Let's see how my Bestial Rage is doing. My Bestial Rage is still good, so this Bray Herd isn't going anywhere. We are recruiting, we are doing nicely, and while I can't move you just yet, I'm going to leave you here. But... just so you're hidden away while we're up here, and end turn again. That probably is one I would have taken, because if I'm being aggressive, having that extra attack and charge bonus is very good. However, I wouldn't necessarily have done it quite so. I'd also had a look at the others rather than accidentally clicking like that. I could jump back and load, but I really can't be bothered at the moment. I'm not terribly upset by that one. Now, I want to see what happens here if they charge at me, because I can always take this territory as well. Oh, we've got Mr. Queek down there, expanding or attacking people as well. Now, I am a little worried about Queek, because I've got a feeling a lot of these territories are all Queek territories. We've got a lot of mountains down here where I believe he starts over in these mountains somewhere. We also have Croc down here somewhere, right on the far side of all this stuff in these territories here. We've got Krotgar, who is also very powerful, so don't particularly fancy fighting Lizardmen at the moment. You know what? I'm going to hit it. I know I said I wouldn't, but I'm going to hit it. And that is a nice, easy auto, he says as he loses a unit. And we'll take 9k gold. So that's very nice, actually. A little bit of levelling up. I should have waited for my Bray Herd to get closer. Closer there. That was silly of me. Right. I do want to keep pushing down this magic route, though some of these are quite nice. Extra charge for Ungor units. You know, melee attack for people, but some of the best ones for the next one. But I want the spells. I've got a mage. I want to push down the spells route. So let's take this one. It's good versus a single combatant, though it is over an area. But it'll do for type, you know, because I was just buffing this one up slightly. Well, it does increase the damage, however, this one. So yeah, let's up my Bray Scream. And my Gorbel has leveled up as well. Straight into the hit points. I really do want to buff up his hit points as well, because as I said, he's been taking a bit too much damage in some battles. No, we only lost one unit here, and actually I can potentially re-recruit that one here. Now we're bringing this one up to strength. I'm gonna need to start raiding. I'm gonna go onto these corners, and what I'll do is I'll start bringing him up to start raiding as well next turn, so that we can be raiding across 2 provinces, which really will help to keep us strong. Oh, have they just gone to war with me? Oh no, they're at war with the Greenskins. So, but no, having 2 strong hordes together like that will hopefully keep people away from me. And it does mean that I can raid in multiple places with, like on there, which will help really keep pushing my income up. We'll be able to take the minus 50% on this horde soon, because I was almost at 12k then. Now I did spend quite a bit, but having 2 good-sized hordes raiding as well will really help push up that income. Now I'm going to lose a lot of growth from doing that, so I do want to keep pushing its growth up via other means, but it's in a reasonable state at the moment. So getting that reduction in cost actually means that I can really start pushing up that other horde as well, and it means my income will really improve. And again, I'll do the same thing with that other horde. I'll push it up until it's in a reasonable situation, and then we'll pop out a 3rd horde, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we've completed one of our things, so we've got a nice boost to our gold there. Raid Crooked Fang 4. That's a bit of a way away. And they want me to raid or sack 14 settlements. Okay, straight out, we're going to pop straight onto this one. And while we're doing that, we are going to recruit ourselves another unit of... in fact, we're going to do a little bit of... consolidation if we can. We're going to knock you over, and we are going to recruit 2 new units, and you are going to start double timing it up here over to us. Now we do have some negatives at the moment, though that should fix itself next turn with that 50% upkeep reduction, which is why I'm doing that. And then, as I said, we'll get ourselves raiding across the border, so we're in range, so we can protect each other. But I might even just go to this border, so I'm not annoying the dwarfs too much yet. Though the dwarfs inevitably don't like me. It's just where I'm going to get the most money from is what I really want to know. And you know, and then so we're in a position Sorry, I'm losing the ability to talk. We'll be in a position where we can raid both territories and really start pushing in that income and growing my armies. So I want to get both hordes to full strength, but this is going to be the tricky thing. When my hordes are at full strength, even though I can get the reduction down, I'm going to have to be raiding all the time, which means I'm going to have to start getting more aggressive, which does make things trickier. Okay, so we've got another one. I do ideally want to try and save up for this as well at the moment, but that's good. So you've got Man Cleaver, which is a extra damage for gore, melee attack for gore and ungore units. Now I do want to go down this one as well, so this is very good too. So you are back to full strength. You can head and start raiding here, and you see there, we're straight into positive income again, even though we've got a bigger thing. Oh, that is nice. You can jump next to him simply because we're going to move up onto this corner to start raiding in both territories next turn, which will again be very nice for us. Okay, so it's another end turn. We've still got our Bray Herd with us too, so I can potentially start smashing a couple more settlements if I wanted to. But for the moment, I want to make the most of this. I want to start raid. I want to get a few turns of raiding, because if I can sit on that border, that's going to really start pushing out the income. Now, I do believe when you're raiding like this, I think you might slowly lose the amount, lose money on the raiding, but you know, right now I'm very powerful. Nobody can really touch me here, so I'm in a very strong position. I can sit on that corner and raid. I mean, they can touch me, they can cause a lot of damage if they want, but if they were really to get together, but it's unlikely they're going to have the resources to around here, and I'm in a much safer position if I need to pull back, because I could probably quite easily take on that army. But again, I don't necessarily want to be killing the factions at the moment while I expand. I just want to be building up my hordes into very strong units, so I can really just start clearing out the territories. Right, so it's almost back on our turn now. I'm intrigued as to who what this faction is. Right. This is something I've not actually done. I want to see what my victory objectives are. Destroy the following factions. I win the following battle of Fall of Man. That's not actually that well, it is difficult, but I've got to win the Fall of Man and kill all of those. So that's not terrible. Okay, so these are some quite fun ones too. Let's move you into this territory, and you can start raiding here. Oh, we're not getting as much money. What's interesting is that literally because... And you can see there, they're already bringing over another horde. So actually we're going to pop a little bit more recruitment out here. Just getting this one into a better position again. Right, we have leveled up again. Let's put one as this one, and then we can start pushing up the next tree. And let's end turn. I'm sorry guys, this is going to be a bit of a watching me raid for a little bit. However, sometimes this does need to happen for hordes like this, because it gives me a chance to start growing. We'll raid here for a few turns, then we'll hit one of their settlements. We'll probably hit Ekund, then we'll probably hit Grunty. We could hit both and then move across the sea, push them out of the Badlands. I might even move forward and smash their army if I'm planning on doing that. Then we're gonna move out of the Badlands across the sea into their heartlands and start raiding and burning through there up towards the Empire. Here comes their second army. Okay, so there's still a lot of conflict. The vampires are all fighting each other now as well, which probably isn't doing them any good with the Skaven around there, because I've got a feeling the Skaven are, well, they're not huge, they are, I think they're quite powerful comparatively to them as well, though Skaven probably don't stack up particularly well against the undead, because the undead have this nasty habit of not breaking. Right, do you have all of the buffs here? So you're not quite there yet. What other buildings are there? Are there any other buildings I can get which will really help with my... No, I think that is the main building I get, which helps with my upkeep. Obviously each of these buildings help with their own side's upkeep, but that'll do for the time being. I'm just trying to work out what else I want to recruit into this one, which I can get. Let's get another one of those. What else do we have in this army? Let's look specifically. So we've got a few more spears in this army, and obviously we've got the Minotaur and the Giant, which I can't recruit in this one yet. Let's get a couple more spears. And that'll do for the time being. It's a fairly basic horde. I will level it up a bit better long run, but it will be doing for the time being. At some point what I'll probably do is I will split some units off this one into there so we can mix it up a bit. For the time being, it's a nice basic horde, so it's not going to be costing me too much, but it's enough to hold its own. And my Bray Herd just got its butt kicked. That was silly of you, Mr. Bray Herd. Though I'm not telling it to do anything, so it's probably getting a little restless. But right now, it really is all about just pushing out the income. So, which I'm getting. I mean, I'm getting 1,000 a turn now in this place. So, actually, I'm more than happy just to sit here and farm them for a while. Which, at some point, they're going to have to attack me. Oh, here comes the Skaven. So are these guys following me around, filling in all these settlements I'm leaving behind me? Which, if they are doing, is actually quite a bad thing. Right, they need to die. They just finished off my Bray Herd. I can't allow that. That's a bad thing, and they have to pay for that. So it's possibly not the most tactical decision, but I don't want to let them do that. I want to make them burn.
I'll ignore that.
Right. You're gonna regret that. Wow, we're still getting a lot, even though we're raiding in the same territory, which should reduce, I believe is meant to reduce what you get. Right, we're going to fight this, guys. And we are going to destroy them. They killed my Bray Herd. I am going to make them pay. They've got some good units here. They've got a lot of archers, including handgunners, which will do a lot of damage. These great swords are probably the most scary thing here, because they do a lot of damage, but we should have the ability to swarm this army from all sides and shred it. I am going to take losses here, guys, but I can afford to take the losses. They can't. And then we're going to burn their settlements, and we are going to jump across the sea and start burning through their homelands. You know, they killed my Bray Herd. I'm not happy about that. Now, admittedly, I wasn't doing anything with the Bray Herd, so it's probably getting bored, but that's not the point. They should have let it come and chase them around like, you know, good squishy humans. Okay, so soon we will be jumping back onto these guys. Let's take a gamble, because that's rubbish. So this is another, we're in some slightly greener territory here, with some nice little orc hovels and things around. Anyway, we're going to fall back to start with while we wait for our other army to come in. Get ourselves sorted out. Not that I really, again, not that I really need to worry. These guys can form a flank. These guys can come in behind. And we're waiting on my other army now. So if the humans are sensible, they will charge early because they know I've got a big army. However, the humans probably aren't sensible, so they're going to get squished.
Chaos Girth. Dark beasts. Ungors. Bah!
You know, these guys can all go on this side. These guys are going to be in one big line, so I'm really not that fussed. This is where things get tricky, and I will start using groups a bit more, because managing this many units is tricky. Let's just form a big line. It might not be the prettiest formation, but it will do. And what we're going to do is we're going to push up and we're just going to fold ourselves around them. So that's going to be one flank, and this is going to be the other flank. In fact, let's change that. That'll do. In fact, I'm going to put a third group in here. So we're going to form a nice little vice around them. We are going to use a Zulu tactic, kind of. So we've got our Zulu tactic. We've got the loins here and the horns here of the bull, of the wildebeest. So the horns will go around and start hitting from the sides, and the loins will smash through the center. This is actually it is how the Zulus fought, because it's a very simple tactic, but it works very well, and it means everybody knows what they're doing. Right. Now let's start pressuring them, because if I wait too long, things are gonna go squishy. Let's bring my lords up. And let's bring my cavalry, or my effective cavalry, around a bit more, because they're going to start ploughing into the back of them. We're not even being subtle now. We're just marching in. And as we get closer, we will engage charge mode. Let's drop a spell down straight on these guys. Let's get a charge on. These guys can start charging to the back. we're just folding around on them now. My Gorbel can start charging, as can my other lord. You can fold in behind. And now let's break these formations. I don't need or want them anymore. My Centaurs can start chasing, as can my my Minotaurs. My Giant can just wander into this unit. And we have completely surrounded these guys now. Which is one. This one's good versus multiples, so let's throw that out there. And let's pop an explosion into here too. And a nice breath spell. Just to really rub it in. So we've shattered their front line now. We're in amongst their archers. Let's keep this pressure on back here. My Centaurs are chasing down their gunmen. My Giants chasing some of their archers as well. But you guys can keep chasing. Let's not let this pressure, drop this pressure off. My archers can start moving forwards to hit some of their things. Okay, and we've got this. So just a nice, easy little enfoldment there, guys. You can see I wasn't really doing lots and lots of micro there, but it was such a simple tactic because it enfolded them. Now, I did take losses, you can see here. Some of my lighter units definitely took losses, but that was to be expected. I'm not fussed about those guys taking losses. They are expendable units. They are meant to be expendable units. But when you consider I smashed 700 of those for 400 of mine, less than 400 of mine, and we've not even killed most of their units. We broke their army, but because they've already retreated, we have completely destroyed that army. And for a few units, throwaway units, whereas they had some really, like these guys, these great swords are very expensive units of air, and handguns aren't cheap, but they're probably the equivalent to my gauze of my gauze. But these ungauze, they are top level. Sorry, these ungauze, these are great swords. They're probably the equivalent of bestigore of my bestigores, which I'm not actually using here. So that was a very nice hit, and you can see. I mean, my Centaurs probably did the most damage there. My Giant just wandered around. My archers didn't even... One of my instant archers didn't even get a kill. So, that's a nice tactic. So, if we're ever in another big one like this, we'll have to use the... Again, doesn't work as well with smaller when I've got less forces. But you can see I do always try and envelop or flank around to some extent. It also works a lot better against AI because players could have fended that off, because you don't actually need many units to fend off a Beastman charge like that, because if you position them right, you can get really push in. We're going to take we're going to take the thingy because I get barely any replenishment from that. Okay, and we just got some Trickster's Helm. We've got this guy is leveling up now. Let's start pushing out Slugskin, because that's a very good buff. And right, I want to make sure he's got some good things equipped. Let's throw him the other one, because this actually gives me slightly best things. Sorry, I'm just jumping through these quite quickly. No, I'm happy with how it's out. We're still making quite a lot of money from this. However, guys, we will be ending it here. Now, I might keep raiding for a bit, or I might just smash these two settlements and then move across the sea. To start pushing forwards, get my growth up, get my money up. If we keep being aggressive like this, we are going to be getting another Bray herd shortly as well. And I do need to, I'm probably just going to do a little merge here. So I do need to do a little bit of recruitment at some point as well, but I might even look at getting, let's have a look at some of the units, because I don't need many spears. I might... Ooh, wrong bit. Now, I might even look at getting myself a couple of Bestigors. I can't at the moment, but I might look at what their stats and everything are like, because I want to see what they're like. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to offer feedback. Tell me if I'm being stupid and too aggressive, but at the moment I think I'm relatively safe. And as always, though, guys, just if you do give me feedback, please try and keep it constructive. Thank you for your time.